Welcome to Dark Chronicles, Crime and Shadow. Tonight, we venture into the unknown, into a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs. A place feared by all who know of its existence. This is the story of the Forest of Lost Souls. A tale of a cursed land that claims all who dare enter its domain. Gather close as we journey into the heart of darkness. In a remote village, far from the reach of modern civilization, there lies a forest shrouded in mystery and dread. The villagers call it the Forest of Lost Souls, a name spoken in hushed tones, as if even the mention of it could summon the terrors within. For generations, the villagers have lived with the knowledge that the forest is cursed, a malevolent force that devours all who wander too close. The stories of the forest have been passed down through the ages. Tales of travelers who entered the woods, never to return, their voices lost in the wind, their faces forgotten. The villagers know better than to test the forest's patience. They have seen too many lives claimed by its insatiable hunger. But as with all dark legends, there are those who do not heed the warnings. One stormy night, a group of weary travelers arrived at the village. They were lost, their path obscured by the relentless storm, and they sought shelter and guidance. The villagers, their faces pale with fear, warned the travelers of the forest and its curse. "Stay away," they urged. "No good can come from entering those woods." But the travelers were desperate. The storm showed no sign of letting up, and the forest offered the only respite from the biting wind and rain. Against the villagers' pleas, they decided to take their chances. As they ventured into the forest, the villagers watched in silence, knowing they would never see the travelers again. The forest was unlike anything the travelers had ever seen. The trees were ancient, their gnarled branches reaching out like twisted hands, blocking the sky from view. The air was thick with mist, making it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. But it wasn't the darkness or the cold that unsettled the travelers. It was the silence. A silence so deep, so complete, it felt as though the forest itself was holding its breath. As they moved deeper into the woods, the silence was broken by whispers. The travelers stopped in their tracks, fear prickling their skin. "Did you hear that?" one of them asked, his voice trembling. The others nodded, their eyes wide with terror. The voices grew louder, more persistent, but when the travelers looked around, they saw nothing but the dense fog and the looming trees. Panic set in as the travelers realized they were no longer alone. Shadows flickered in the mist, ghostly figures that seemed to move with the wind. The travelers tried to retrace their steps, but the forest had changed. Paths that should have led back to the village now twisted and turned, leading them deeper into the darkness. The forest was alive, a malevolent entity that fed on the fear of those who dared to enter. It whispered their darkest secrets, taunted them with memories of loved ones long gone. The travelers heard the voices of their mothers, fathers, and children, and calling to them from the depths of the forest. Desperate to escape, they followed the voices, only to be led further into the forest's embrace. One by one, the travelers succumbed to the forest's power. Their minds twisted by terror, they ran in all directions, believing they were following the voices of those they loved. But the voices were a lie, a cruel trick played by the forest to lure them deeper, to feed on their despair. As the last traveler vanished into the mist, the forest fell silent once more. The storm passed, and the village returned to its quiet routine. The villagers knew the fate of the travelers. They had seen it too many times before. The forest had claimed them, just as it had claimed so many others before. The Forest of Lost Souls remains, its curse unbroken, its hunger insatiable. The villagers still warn those who pass through their small town to stay away, but not everyone listens. Those who are foolish enough to enter the forest never return. their voices added to the whispers that echo the tree. The forest waits, patient and timeless, ready to claim the next soul that dares to challenge its power. And so the legend of the Forest of Lost Souls endures, a chilling reminder that some places are best left undisturbed. Thank you for joining us on this eerie journey into the Forest of Lost Souls. As always, we encourage you to stay curious, for not every mystery is meant to be solved, and some doors, once opened, can never be closed. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow Dark Chronicles Crime and Shadow for more tales that will send shivers down your spine. Until next time, remember, sometimes the darkest stories are the ones that are never told.